Hi all. Um, it's always difficult to see at the beginning, is everything alright? So let's keep it alive for a couple of moments before actually seeing. So YouTube is giving me a thumbs up. The feed is great, green light, and yeah. Then let's do it once again. Hi all, this is Allmighty and welcome to this stream. As promised, during the week when I managed to fix all the problems related to me actually being able to record videos, I decided to make this stream to mention a couple of things, play some chess, talk about various topics, so trying to do a little bit different this time. So let's just jump right into it. Playing a game and talking about stuff, mainly chess, hopefully. Of course, if you're not interested in something else, then I can talk about, I don't know, football, other things that have been happening, but we'll see. So, always starting with a nice little game, 5+0, until some of you guys actually join the stream, then maybe I will be taking some challenges, and we will see. So, playing a blitz game against Galasil, starting with this orthodox fianchetto lines, which are a pain to play against, especially in my case. But okay, let's take the center. So already a crazy position out of the box, playing a4. Come on, man. It's such early, but let's see what happens. e5, occupy the center. Not the best of ideas, but still should be good enough. e4 probably planned, but then d4. Knight to c4, bishop to c7, and then going for this weakness of the d3 pawn. Yeah, I expected this bishop to g2 castles, and now the idea will be to go and attack on this side of the board, because you cannot really hope that much on this side. Okay, but first, let's try and simply play against this. Okay, the simple idea of b4 seems a bit problematic. And how to actually stop it? a6, b5, a little bit too slow. Still have to defend this one. Okay. Let's play queen to e7 first. For the moment, stop this idea. I'm expecting rook to b1. And then maybe even knight to b4, whatever he plays. We'll see. Okay, castles. Okay, let's spin this knight. So yeah, one thing that I wanted to talk about during the stream that I didn't want to bore you with during one of my actual videos is why have I been absent for so long from this channel. Well, to start from the beginning, one beautiful day in Croatia, thunder and lightning started lightening up the sky. It's not there is actually not a better way how to describe it. My house was actually lucky. Hello guys, hello Ronaldinho, and hello Umar. Also, before going into it, if anybody for some reason sees that there are actually some difficulties in the stream, please do mention it in the comments, in the chat, so that I may fix it. If not, then let's just proceed with some chess. So yeah, my house was one of the lucky ones to be struck by it, and that led to my router being actually quite dead. So that is not the best of things to happen to you if you are a guy who wants to record YouTube videos. And after that, okay, I saw this. I'll defend this pawn. After that, had to actually wait. Hello, Ethan. Hello, Anurag. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, I had to for the guys from the service provider company to actually get to my place and to fix everything. And for the first time in my life, I actually experienced them answering. Thanks for the hat comment. Answering immediately. So I called them, and for the first time I wasn't on wait, and they answered immediately, and they sent a technician in 2 days. So that's like a world record for Croatia. Definitely a national record for Croatia, because answering immediately and then sending a technician who will fix your router and you will have internet in 2 days, that was extraordinary. But still, there were some other things that I had to take care of. I had some business trip that I had to attend to, so I went abroad. I traveled to Germany, where I stayed for a couple of days, so 5 days to be exact. And surprise, surprise, while traveling back from Germany, my personal laptop, so laptop on which I'm actually recording at the moment, broke down. So it was in the back of the car, and quite simply, it fell, and the plastic broke, and the fan broke, which is kind of a bad thing. Okay, also have to focus on the game a little bit. What it does, it makes your computer overheat, and it didn't allow me to proceed with my work, and especially, exactly, a really bad week. If you want to record YouTube videos, I would say that isn't the best of things to do if you have a broken fan, since making YouTube videos and actually recording this takes a lot of processing time, which makes your computer overheat in and of itself, and it would kind of break, and maybe I would lose some data. So I decided not to go for it, and okay, I'm clearly losing this game. Well, what can you expect thinking about other things while playing? Yeah, I had to break open the computer, fix it. Okay, am I losing this? But maybe I will be able to give some checks in the meantime. Even rook to e6 seems kind of juicy here. Okay, going for queen to f2, queen f3. It will be an interesting situation for him to actually go for this. Let's see what happens after queen to c6. Yeah. Okay, rook to c6. Interesting. Okay, definitely give a check here. King to h3. And now we have an issue. How to... Does it make sense to do this? Okay, I'll clearly lose another piece. King h7, lose the bishop here. Okay, not the best of first not the best of first games, but that is like a tradition on this channel. Start playing, lose a game, and then actually have fun. I see a lot of you have joined in the meantime, so what I would like to ask you, please challenge me. If you want for a casual game, if you want for a rated game, I'll be accepting challenges 3+0 and more, just to have time to actually talk about things, and talk about some chess, of course. But okay, let's just go out of this game. It is painful to watch, quite honestly. I do have one challenge, Kati Lassi, for a 5+0, so let's go right into it. Does anybody know about the Zuma incident? No, can you please clarify? I actually haven't heard anything about it. I actually prepared a couple of topics for the stream to talk about, but Zuma incident, I'm not aware of those. Greetings from Riga. Hey, Kristaps. I didn't know. I actually don't think I ever had a spectator from Riga on this stream, so nice of you to join. Oh, a little bit of a Petrov. and it ties perfectly with Ethan's question, Carlsen or Caruana. I would literally give not a lot of money, but a significant amount of money, put it on Carlsen actually winning, defending the World Championship title. And the reason is, and it also, I wanted to mention, I was watching that a little bit of that Karpov interview, which Allmighty posted on this Facebook page, and he said one very important thing, with which I definitely agree with. If Carlsen will take this championship match seriously, so I was also having a discussion with Allmighty, and he said also a very nice thing. Carlsen is a guy who in 2013 became the world champion. He was 22 or 23 at that time. He was the highest rated player ever. And in 2014, he was at the same time the Blitz champion, the Rapid champion, and a world champion in classical time format. Which means for a person who wants to achieve greatness in a sport, he's pretty much done it all. So what is the motivation to go and grind 4 years after that and still have the same level of motivation? That is really difficult to find. Like the next obstacle that maybe he could achieve, maybe break the 2900 barrier or go for the 3000 barrier in the classical time format. But if he wanted to do that, once again, he probably wouldn't be playing in such vast amount of tournaments where there are lower rated players who can draw against him, and he will lose a lot of rating points. So I'm not sure what will be Carlsen's motivation to keep this going for a big amount of time, but yeah, for a person that young, he's already done it all. So if you take that into account, and if you think about that he doesn't have the proper motivation, then maybe Caruana does have a chance. But if Carlsen will play as he played against Anand, as he played against Karyakin, then in my opinion, Caruana doesn't have a chance, even though Caruana showed, and as he mentioned in one of the interviews, that he did win the tournament and in this year in which Carlsen played. But as I've mentioned also many times on this channel, playing a tournament and playing a World Chess Championship match is a totally different thing. So that is my opinion. I would like to hear yours opinion as well. So my bet is definitely on Carlsen. He is, in my opinion, a stronger player, definitely a more experienced player, and Caruana, in my opinion, still isn't on that level to actually go and win this match. But what do I know? I mean, I'm just a guy from Croatia. So, hello from Kansas. Yeah, hey Trav. So yeah, other than that, where did I left it off? Okay, let's talk about this game. So a pretty simple Petrov's typical modern line where I go queenside castle, and the idea is to attack on the king side. On the other hand, my opponent did manage to get out a very nice development here, playing the knight on c4, so I will have to capture this. And now my idea is to actually try and attack as quickly as possible on this side of the board. Bishop to f4 seems like a very nice move, going for the pawn, and if d5 is pushed, knight to e5, because I want to attack this bishop as well. Okay, so queen to a5, clear threat, queen a2, queen a1, checkmate. So definitely something I would like to stop, so I will play this nice little b3 move. Bishop to e6. Okay, now this is a surprising turn of events. Bishop to c3. Very nice by Lassi. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Yeah, the idea is if I do capture if I do capture the bishop on c4, bishop to c3 with queen to b4 becomes very deadly. So definitely capturing here isn't an option. I was thinking about a3 pushing, but I thought b3 he will move the bishop for sure. But I guess I was wrong. So now, am I able to defend this pawn at all? That's the question. I'm not so sure. But one thing that I can do, what I probably should do, is play rook to e1, because rook to e2 is also a big threat now. I mean, I can survive bishop to c3 by playing queen to c1, and then eye this pawn here. So let's do that. Rook to e1, bishop to c3. Yeah, giving up the exchange, but Catillasi got me real good here with this bishop to f6 move. So good on that. If there won't be any challenges, then of course I'm just going to play some blitz games from other people on the Lichess page. Now the question is, okay, capturing the bishop, and that is okay for me, because, okay, let's capture with the knight. That is okay with me, because now this dangerous bishop on this diagonal, he is no longer here. This bishop is attacked, so this means that I will probably capture this pawn here on d6. Probably, not surely. Okay, bishop to b5. Rook to d8. Let's try that. Rook to d8 now, going for the bishop, and then one thing that I have to do is put the knight away, because now rook to d6 is a threat with me capturing, and then rook comes on e1. So knight to f3 runs into bishop to e2. Man, this is some nice stuff here. So probably c4 first. Yeah, let's play c4. Let's see what happens. And then I will have to go for knight to f3. Move the... Okay. As I said, okay, I did mention it on the stream, so I don't know if he got it from himself or just like this, but he is now he is a piece up, and a very nice piece at that. Okay. A very nice idea of giving me checkmate. Oh my god. Now I'm a little bit in trouble. Let's play a3. It's defended by the queen, but I am feeling kind of cramped here. What will he do? Okay, expected that. a4 was also a possibility. Okay, okay. Let's play f3. Not allow bishop to e4 check. I probably will win on time if I, for some miraculous reason, don't get checkmated. But, man, did I got it wrong this time. Man, queen to g5, f6, and I cannot even capture here on c5. That is definitely not the best. Okay, I'm still not allowing him to come here close. Queen e5 threatens checkmate here. Queen to c8. Come on. Why am I playing this so badly? I'll get checkmated in a couple of moves. Yeah, I'll win on time, but this is too bad. Thanks for the game, Catillasi. But yeah, this was just poor from my side. Okay, no challenges. Let's find somebody else who wants to play. Where did I left it off? Okay, laptop broke, and man, it kind of seems that Croatia is at the end of the world, because I was ordering. Okay, there is a challenge from Kingslayer Ashish. Yeah, Croatia at the end of the world while ordering stuff over eBay because spare parts for a laptop. Yeah, you cannot order it anywhere in Croatia. Hi Kingslayer. And you have to order it from abroad. I think my parts came from Germany, but only because of that, and only because I paid, I think, 50 euros extra, did my parts came in 1 week. So if I wanted to go the cheaper way, it would take 2 weeks, probably shipped out from China or the United States, and still it would be expensive. But man, this is such a bad thing to have, because if something breaks down, I'm essentially without a computer for I was essentially without a computer for 2 weeks, just like that. And it isn't possible to go even to the capital city, go to Zagreb and buy some spare parts. So that is crazy. That is the country that I live in, and that was pretty disappointing. And finally, when the parts came, I managed to single-handedly myself break down the computer. I did ask for some help in the end, but I managed to fix it, and finally I was able to record another video. So Mr. Monster, thank you for your request. I will definitely go for the dragon in the next game. Unfortunately, I saw it too late this time. Okay, f4 is an idea. But me, I'm going to play this, and then knight to d4, and this knight on d4 will be a beautiful piece. Definitely a beautiful piece. And now the question is, after f4, what to do? Or even now. Now I see. Now it's actually a problem that I have a knight on d4, because this idea of knight e4, knight c3 to capture the queen doesn't work, because after knight captures on c3, bc3, and then my knight is attacked. Okay, that is a shame. But let's go for this, b5, b4, to undermine the position of the knight on this side of the board. Okay, a very active move with the rook here. I'm wondering what was the idea. To capture the knight on d4? I'm not sure. Okay, now b4, the knight has to go away. Will he go on d5 or somewhere else? Okay, knight comes on e2. That's perfectly fine. I have to play this, of course. And now I have to play this, a5, because I will lose my pawn on a6. Now the idea will be to transfer the knight and have some attack. Okay, now I cannot even do that. Okay. Now there will be problems on the a file. But still, I would say that I'm in a pretty comfortable position here. Let's start with queen to c7. Now there is no attack on the king side. It is wide open for the taking, and just after a couple of moves of maneuvering, I think I can start with my side of the attack. Thanks, Mr. Monster. It is always nice to have a stream like this. I will try to keep it as often as possible, but yeah, we will see if that will be possible, to say the least. Rook to f1, probably going for the f4 idea once again. What to do? Let's go for rook to e1. Rook to e8, sorry. Okay. Remaneuvering the rooks. Now. I can simply capture this and double up my rooks. Now he will have to defend the e4 square. Okay, and I of course will have to defend the f7 square. Okay, knight to c5 seems reasonable. Now attacking this bishop, this pawn. I'm defending this twice, and now f6. because, yeah, now the pawn can defend this. Okay, this is something I was expecting. King on h7. And now this pawn is in a lot of trouble. Okay, he defends it, I can take it. Queen to f5. Yeah, and queen to f5. Okay, then first this. The queen is attacked. Okay, f5. Always a good idea. And now I have a very nice central pawn, and I will have to start pushing this fast because I do have a time problem as always on the stream. Okay, exchanging queens means a dead win for me, and okay, he goes for the pawns, but now this problem of this passed pawn becomes greater and greater by the minute. So let's defend this b4 pawn for a second there. Let's see what he does. Okay, he also attacks my rook. Okay, rook to e8. Rook to f2. Double threat, double threat. If you capture the rook, I'll capture with the pawn. I go out with a queen in the end. If you play this, or if you capture the pawn, then queen to g2. Oh no, not queen to g2. That was... okay, my bad. Now, extra fast. Okay. Always those back rank ideas. Always those back rank ideas. Thank you for the game, Kingslayer. It was so close. For, yeah, one more time. Yeah, no problem. Gotta stay hydrated for this hourly long streams. Yeah, Trav. The parts problem for Croatia is a total mess. If you have a broken laptop or anything in here and you have to do something about it, yeah, you will probably be out. So you take it to the service guys and they will take you, it will take minimally a week or two to actually fix it. Even they have to order it from I don't know where, but still you cannot get it immediately. And yeah, if you don't have another computer or if you don't have access to the computer, it is quite simply a big issue. So don't know really what to recommend after all this, but yeah, I was in a world of hurt after a couple of weeks not being able to record videos, and finally, yeah, that ended, and now I'm able to stream once again. Okay, so, and while going back at this stream, I also thought it would be fun to maybe change it up a little bit, not just talking about chess and playing the Pierce defense like this, so a crazy wild variation in which I have to play a4 on the 6th move to break open the queen side from black, b4, knight to d5, going for the pawn, a5, and then c3 even. So definitely a crazy variation, which will end up probably in me being lost somewhere, but no, not really. I'm actually looking pretty good here. I have to capture here, then I will capture with the pawn. And of course, I'm going to go kingside castle in this variation. Attacking the pawn once again. Okay, and a nice in-betweener, as always. And at the same time, knight to g4 seems like a move. So let's play f3. I'm thinking bishop to d3, and this knight comes here, and this knight here. And then still, I'm very good with the attack on this side of the board. But of course, let's see what my opponent thinks about this position. After all, it is a 5-minute game, it's not a 3-minute game. One other thing that I wanted to talk about is, for the first time, actually, now that I've gained some viewers, subscribers, and everything, I wanted to mention this thing that is happening in the US, all this Hurricane Florence thing where it's just devastating. What has been happening to the people of Carolinas. So me as a Croatian, I don't really have to worry about things that like that, because hurricanes aren't big in Croatia. We never had one, and especially since I'm living in the continental part. But for those of you who are living near those areas or know people from those areas, I cannot imagine what are you going through actually in these moments. It is pretty devastating to see what is happening. And for the first time, I actually in the description, I pasted the link from the Google Crisis Fund, where you can donate if you want to help the people in need. And I think you're donating for the American Red Cross, and they can probably use the money the best way possible to actually go and help the people in need. And it's quite crazy, because I wanted to connect this story to another story which was pretty big, not in the US but actually in the European parts, and that is the EUCD. And the EUCD is kind of a big topic nowadays, because it's some people would say, okay, first let's focus on this. Before saving the internet and talking about the EUCD, let's focus on this position. Okay, not giving up the bishop to h3 idea with capturing, but if knight captures on d3, queen to d3, bishop to a6, queen can go back to d2, and still I'm thinking all is good, because knight to e4 will be met with queen to e4, and this bishop is still defended. So, but okay, maybe not. Let's see what Gallicil does. I mean, knight to e4 seems also like a move that could be played immediately. Okay, I see, d5. But okay, e5 now with f4 should be good for me. Knight comes here on d7. I'm not really seeing anything better for black here. And then I can just continue with the attack. Open up the rooks on the c file, maybe b file. Let's see what he does. I'm not thinking that he will push f6 or f5 for the moment, but I would like to play this rook somewhere here so that I can unpin this knight. Okay, knight to c4 seems like a move. And that is a very nice play by Gallicil here. What happens if I allow knight to c4? So for example, I will move the rook on c1. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm not sensing any big threats for the moment here. Okay, queen to e1. Still have enough time. Now I will go for knight to c3, attack this pawn on d5. And maybe ideas of knight jumping to d5. So the main idea was for the first thing to actually get rid of this threat of pinning of the bishop. Okay, queen to d7. Queen to f5 maybe? No. Attacking this pawn, not really an option there. Let's see what happens. Okay, rook to e8. Expected that. f6 as a move next. How to deal with that? That is the question. This is still defended. Yeah, queen to d1 seems okay, because then I need a support for the knight, which will come on d3 and then on c5. So I will give him the taste of his own medicine. going for the attack like this. If he for some reason plays knight to b2, simply queen to c2, and I'm not afraid of anything. Okay, rook to d8, now knight c5, probably forcing bishop to f8. But then I will also include this rook into the game via the b file. But let's see what he does first. Oh, queen to f5, he is actually allowing it. Okay, I mean, this pawn is attacked, but yeah, but I will definitely play this knight here. Bishop to c8. I will defend the pawn with g3. Queen to d3 will be a move after that, and should be good. But okay, I think that f6 is pretty well prepared now for him to actually start and open up things, because he won't be in the best of positions otherwise. To exchange the queen on f6 then, and then I have to think about how to actually proceed. Knight to d5 seems like a move. Yeah, and then he loses the bishop quite, the knight quite simply. Okay. Queen to f1. Not allowing his queen to get too comfortable on my side of the board. Okay. And then bishop to g4. That is fine. But now I do have this option of capturing here on d5. And then capturing the knight on c4. Okay, there is this knight to d2, intermediate move. Let's play. Now queen to d3 runs into bishop to f5. It is a complicated position, but still it should be good, for me at least. I also have to think about the time. Okay, knight d2. Yeah, it isn't looking good. Let's bring the knight back to f2 as a defending piece. I'm not liking this. Okay, knight to f3, I think. Queen here, knight f3. Oh, fuck, I'm losing. I'm losing a piece. No. Why am I doing this? I could have also lost the queen. That is so bad. Okay, now I have to start play faster. Okay, not fast like that, obviously. Okay. This seems like a nice move. Okay. Now I will bring back one piece at least. No, I won't. Oh man, this is the worst. This is the worst. But let's start playing faster. Okay. That is something you would do. Okay. Man. Yeah, this is too bad. Okay. Thanks, Gallisel, for the game. That was 1-1. After that first bad game, I think this is quite alright. Okay, we have another challenge, so that is very nice. And of the username that I will probably pronounce wrong, Omairoscope. Maybe it's one of the participants of the stream, I think, actually. 5-minute game. I'll play the dragon this time. Okay, I was quite focused on this 5-0 game that I, in the end, totally lost track of my take on the hurricane and the EUCD, so probably we'll get back to this in this game. Knight f6, but I have to remember a little bit how to play the dragon because I played it a long time ago. So d6 and g6 definitely would go into it. No, he's not allowing me to go for this. I will have to play the Richterhauser now with e6 and bishop to e7. But okay, I have been playing this with white for a lot in the last couple of days actually. And Omair, what about this knight on d4? Man, that is one juicy knight to grab like this. So, and bishop to b5 doesn't work because knight will capture on b5, so that is a free piece. But okay, it will leave me enough time to maybe to once again go and talk about the Hurricane and the EUCD. So my take on the EUCD, first, for those of you who don't know, this is kind of the newest take, a European take from the European Parliament on how to actually handle copyright and how the copyright holders can actually go about taking advantage of the content that is actually used all over the internet. A lot of people have been talking about it because of this thing that Ethan mentioned, the EU ban memes, and it is this is like a tiny thing. First, I will capture this queen before going more deeply into it. This is like a tiny thing that could happen to a lot of people in the European Union. All those things that you use now, for example, GIFs or GIFs, however you want to call them, all the videos that do reactions of other videos. So everything that you use on your social media. So if you post something that is including some copyrighted material, if you're posting as a news site something that holds copyrighted material, you're talking about something. For example, here, when I talked about the Hurricane Florence, you will have to use some content, you will have to use some video of some guy, and those types of things will be banned in the future if the EUCD law passes. So the current situation is as follows. First, the problematic articles of 11 and 13 were voted upon a couple of months ago, or at the beginning of this year, and first they voted no, which was a huge victory for all the activists against it. But then I think a couple of days ago, the EUCD actually passed in a kind of a different. So it was reformed a little bit, but essentially the main parts against which the activists were against didn't change at all. So the bill passed, and it was like 460 against 230. And the idea is that now they will have to vote for one final time in the spring of 2019. And if the bill passes, it will go into effect of 2021. Which means that for the people of the European Union and all of you who would like to have something, so for me, as a guy who creates YouTube videos, it will be a totally different thing to actually have videos in the European Union because of this copyright issues. Anybody who has anything and he claims a copyright on it, you cannot use it because that person can come and if you don't have a license, so if you're not paying the person to actually using this content or something, it can take your video down. It could claim all the money which you actually earned. For example, on YouTube, if you earn some money from that video, he can claim it and just take the money. And I don't want to come across as bad, saying you definitely you shouldn't steal other people's content and other people's material, but the idea is that you should be able to talk about things. You should be able to react to things, and this could be a problem for many news outlets which don't have a significant following. So for new news outlets who are minor and don't have that much money. So In the end, I would urge you, if you haven't, and if you are from the European Union, to go and read about the EUCD and all the effects that would have on the internet, how it is at the moment, and to really think about, do you want to live in a world with the EUCD actually being a law? So that I wanted to share my insights on that as well, because I think it's a really important topic, and it could definitely change the internet as we know it. So that being said, let me give my mate Umairoscope checkmate in 2. Queen g3, knight f2, unstoppable checkmate by black. So this is what I meant when I said I wanted to change it up a bit. I would like to talk about some topics that aren't necessarily related to chess. Of course, I will always analyze the games, and I will always talk about the games, but I also wanted to get a fresh perspective on things. So let's do another challenge. Drink some water, keep yourself hydrated, and play against Mahmoud Azam. Okay, d4, knight f6. Let's go for a little nice Nimzo Indian. And also, if you have some requests for me, if you want me to play some opening, then definitely shoot. I'm still planning to play the dragon if I'm going to play against a person with the white pieces, and if he allows me to play a normal Sicilian main line. Okay, Mahmoud goes for this bishop to g5, which means that I go for queen to a5. Also possible was capturing on d4 here. But okay, my idea in this opening is not to go immediately into it, so keep it calm, because now this position with the pawns here is feeling a little bit cramped for white. So for the moment, I'm feeling good here, and I definitely don't want to allow any capture here. So if this pawns will stay like this, then I think this is a good situation for me. Okay, knight to e4 is a possibility. Probably it was possible also a couple of moments ago, but I was also eyeing the d5 square. So if he pushes d5, pawn captures, and in the end the knight captures. Okay, let's capture this bishop. d6, not d5, not to allow this pawn to recapture. And let's try e5. If pawn capture, I will capture with the pawn. The main idea is to allow my bishop to develop as well. And yeah, I'm fairly okay with d5. As I've said, I'm looking at these two pawns, and this is something that you could go for in your games. These types of setup with having the double pawns immediately from. For the moment, you are still playing the game. Of course, you have to handle the middle game, you have to exchange some material, but in the end, not mess with these pawns if of course, white does allow you to capture those pawns without in ease. And if he doesn't, this is still a weakness that you can keep for the end game. And this is exactly that something I plan to do. And up until then, let's just see what happens. Okay, knight to h4, definitely a good move going for this bishop, and I don't want to give it up. I would rather exchange this bishop for his bishop, so I will play bishop to h7. Up until here, king to h8 is a move. Okay, and then he plays it like this. Bishop to d3, queen to d3, rook to f6. Let's double up the rooks on the f file. But one thing is for certain, that now white is gaining up on the king side, so he will probably have some sort of an attack, and I will have to reactivate my queen. Okay, a couple of requests. Scandinavian. Okay, haven't played that in a while. Of course, it is possible. And can I place the Saragossa opening? I certainly can, but Luca, you have to tell me what it is, because I'm not familiar with the Saragossa opening. So if you can just shed a light on what a Saragossa opening actually is, and I will definitely play it. Oh, we have a very nice question from Mr. Munster. Would I prefer a slightly better position and worse on time, and or slightly worse position but better on time. Well, I would always prefer a better position. So that is just me, but of course it depends on the time. If I'm having just a couple of seconds then and I on the clock, then maybe I wouldn't prefer a better position. But that all depends, of course. Okay, queen to d2. Okay, have to start to play faster, sorry for that. First rook to d8 to defend this pawn. Of course, not allow losing any material. Also, I'm still eyeing this d5 pawn, and okay, this is pretty much finished because now I have earned myself two big pawns in the center. I do have a pressure on this f3 pawn. I will play even e4 now. Don't know, it was the best of options, but okay. Okay, don't know why I played this. Now I have lost 2 pawns, queen d5, king h8. Okay, not the best of ideas, but okay, still I'm looking good. The attack on the f-file, he will have to bring the queen back, and there are some threats of capturing this pawn. So okay, and once again guys, Saragossa opening is a pawn on c3. Yeah, why not? Since I didn't have any requests for a first move such as this one, yeah, let's try it. Okay, Mahmoud resigned. Yeah, it was a good game. Good game, Mahmoud. One thing I also wanted to say, so if somebody wants to challenge me for a quick game, let's do it. But if not, then I will just go on and play a 5-minute game against somebody else and talk about chess at the same time. So, the Evans Gambit. Well, I would definitely like to play the Evans Gambit, but the problem is that black has to play e5. And in my games, that is not always the case. So, okay. Hello, good luck. Yay beat me. Okay. So we had the Scandinavian. Let's try the Scandinavian. I haven't played it in a while. I won't play queen d5 immediately, so first knight to c3. And if he plays c4, c6 is an option for me, giving the pawn immediately, but I would have a very nice development with the black pieces. Okay, knight to b6. And once again, here in this line, I will have a problem of developing this bishop, this light square bishop. I could have played maybe bishop to g4, but for now, I wanted to keep it as is. So, Scandinavian. Okay, in the meantime, I did get a challenge, so that is nice. h4 immediately. Man, that is some nice... Yeah, and that is actually a very good thing. So my opponent here is showing you that here in this situation, what he did. So I have transferred my knight from f6 to b6, which means that I don't have another defending piece on my king side. Okay, not a problem. But at the other hand, let's play knight to f6, because if bishop to g7, then rook to g7, I'm also eyeing here on g2. And the question is, where will he return his bishop? Yeah, I plan to go kingside castle, and he is immediately going for the attack. Assuming that I will go kingside castle, because otherwise I will have to go queenside castle, but that would be kind of a problematic, because I would have a problem with development. So I decided to go at it this way. I will lose the pawn on here on h7 as well, but okay, queen to d1 and then rook to f2. So let's see what white will do. Maybe he has something else in mind. Okay, queen d1. Rook captures here, attacking the knight at the same time. And one thing that I will have to do is find a way how to develop this bishop. Okay. Does it make sense to sacrifice this e5 pawn? I mean, knight to c4 was also a possibility, but now king to e1. In the meantime, that is definitely, yeah, that is definitely an issue. But if I play bishop to c5, then knight e4 rook. Let's try it. I think that maybe in the end it will work, but you never know. So the idea is if knight to c4, I capture rook to f3, thus earning a pawn and having a more flexible rook at that. I'm now a pawn up. I will now play definitely e5 because it is okay. Of course, not if he attacks my rook, but now is actually the final time to go for this idea of opening up the position and develop this bishop. If king to e2, rook to f4, attacking this knight, this is with tempo, and then after that, I think that e5 should come easily. But let's see what my opponent does. Okay, I have a doubt that they say king should not be at the center. It's bad, but if we castle on any side, it leads to a lot of tactics. Well, yeah, of course. There is always a chance that if you play somewhere that your opponent will attack you. But that's the beauty of the chess game. I mean, you should outmaneuver your opponent. And that's like the only thing that you should think about. The problem with keeping the king in the center is that the center is the first thing that opens up in a chess game. So most of the games that are played start with e4 and d4. That is immediately something which opens up the king. And if you try to counter that center, so playing c5, the Sicilian, or playing d5, the Scandinavian, you're opening up the center and your king is more vulnerable. So you can check him, you can do some other things. But the main idea is, okay, so my opponent here doesn't care about the knight, he will rather have a passed pawn. And that is quite nice, to be honest. So h6, h7, h8, that's 3 moves. Keeping in mind that also if I play rook to c4, bishop to d3 comes with tempo. So I don't have e5, bishop to g4 check. Yeah, that is a shame. So let's play e5. I'm trusting my opponent that he has calculated this and that this isn't the best for me. But one thing is for sure now. His king is in the center and he is wide open. You will see that this could come under a lot of tactics. For starters, bishop to g4. And after that, if king comes to e3, bishop to c5 or king to bishop or rook to f3. So this is something definitely that I will use in the future. And yeah, just to finish up with that question, the king is the most vulnerable piece in the center, but that doesn't mean that you will get attacked through the center. This just means that your opponent has the most possibilities to attack you, but you can build a fortress in front of your king and keep it in the center. There are many openings, starting with the Richter-Rauser, which I have played a couple of moves ago, a couple of games ago, which will point out that you can keep the king in the center of the board and still be totally okay with it. So let's see what will my opponent do now. Okay, that is definitely a move that I would play, but one thing is different now. Now still the bishop would be attacking on d3. Let's go castle. Now the rook is eyeing on h8 and also bishop to f6 is an idea. Okay, knight e3, finally decided to keep this knight alive, but let's attack now. Bishop to f3, e4 to support it. And also now if the rook moves from the h file, bishop to h4, but still bishop to h4, right? Yeah. And I think it's pretty much finished for Mr. Yay Beat Me. As you can see, this is Mr. II. This game, thanks. This game is a perfect example of something that I would use for a question. In the end, his king stayed in the center, and as you can see, it was vulnerable to a lot of tactics, which in the end led to this bishop just annihilating him. But what happened in the meantime? I did get a lot of challenges, so let's just start immediately. I plan to go for a couple of hours with this stream, but of course, if something happens in the meantime, I probably will end it. But just for now, oh no, I didn't play c3 as the first move. Sorry for that. Totally forgot. Sometimes you have to remind me. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, definitely play the Saragossa opening in the next game with white pieces. But let's go for this nice Sicilian next. Okay, this is the accelerated dragon. So in the end, it was per one request at least. Okay, d5, right? That's like a good move here. Okay, queen a5, pinning this knight to e4 threats. Ravi Rawat going out strong. What to do next? That is the question. In all of these openings where the queen goes out very quickly, and especially for the openings which would go on the b file and go for the b2 pawn, I would just leave the b pawn, and that is also my advice to you guys, because it is not by mistake why this is called a poison pawn variation. Okay, so now here d5 is played, but with a little twist. The queen is on a5, not on d8, which means that I have this thing which is called an intermediate move, attacking the queen now. And the queen has to go back probably on d8, but then I can safely capture with the pawn on d5, and thus earning myself a pawn, or at least for the moment I think so. So that is a nice thing that has happened now. Yeah, still a dragon game. And I think I have just refuted this line with queen to a5, at least for a little bit. I mean, queen to a5, it is a possible move. I will definitely say that, but d5 after that is, I think, a blunder. So, yeah. Now this knight also has a problem. Where will it be developed? You can play on b4, thus attacking this pawn 3 times, but I can easily defend it with bishop to f3. And then this knight on b4 is easily pushed away with this pawn. Okay. But I can simply capture it, even with the queen. Bishop to c3, this is with check. Okay, in the end, I will even win a piece. So that is a nice outcome, definitely. Have I played... Okay, thanks. Thanks. Thanks for the hat comments. Yeah, that is why I'm saying thanks a lot. Yeah, I did buy a new hat, just to say. Yeah, Ravi, sorry. Yeah, it was a nice game, but I will have to go in the order. So no rematches for now. So if there will be no challenges, then I would definitely go for a rematch. But if there are players waiting in line, then I will go for the next in line. So once again with white pieces, and this time Luca, I will play the Saragossa opening, and hopefully I wouldn't confuse my opponent too much. I will start also with queen to c2, because in my opinion this is why you should play c3 as a first move, and now I'm lost. So what to do now. Let's play g3 and bishop to g2. This is also looking nice. d4 is probably also something that could be prepared in this opening. But let's see what black does as well. And here in Vocalist is a guy with new rating, 1500. Looks nice. Let's see if he is actually a strong player without a rating or something else. Sorry. e4, okay. e3 needs, okay, maybe bishop to g5 was possible. But now knight e2 and c4 will be the ideas. Of course, I would like to castle as well. And I'm not thinking that black for the moment does have a strong attack on the king side, so yeah, I will start to do something on the queen side first. But let's see what white does first. Am I playing this Zaragoza opening correct? Can somebody tell me in the comments down below? I'm not really sure. I think c4 is still possible. Even if bishop captures. I mean, bishop to f3 is a possibility here, but at no point will I actually capture this bishop. To create a pawn on f3, this would be a definite problem for me. So yeah, am I playing this opening right? Because I don't really know. Here I do have the problem once again of this bishop developing, but I will use it as a very valuable piece on this side of the board when I actually start and just pick up as much space as possible. So b4, a5 is now a possibility, but then I will play b5. The point is to push the pawns as further as possible here, and I'm a little bit late with development, but these pieces can be used in a couple of ways, so I'm still waiting here. Okay, h5. The opponent wants to play h4 and maybe even h3, but we will allow this because, once again, I'm not afraid for the moment. h4, knight to c3, bishop to d2 probably, and then opening up the queen side, playing the other rook here and trying to undermine this position of these pawns. Let's see what black does about it. And in Vocalist is actually using a lot of time here, so maybe that will play a big factor in the future of this game. Okay, I mean, I don't mind exchanging queens. In the end, once again, I'm having a big setup of pawns on this side of the board, which means in the end a better endgame for me. So, and also this knight can be using as a defending piece here, but now all the chances for actually going for the attack I think are lost, and even g5 isn't a move you should be afraid of here. So first let's play this. I will even return the knight on c3 and then push b5 in the end. But okay, you had to castle queenside and g4 h4 wins the game. Okay, yeah, I wasn't looking at the comments, so I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? Aye. Sometimes I will just forget what I was talking about because I'm trying to focus at a couple of things at the same time. Please forgive me, but yeah, it is how it is. Now b5, it's time to open up. Okay, the opponent decided to play the knight. Now the rook will infiltrate. I mean, bishop to a5 is possible, but is it good? That's something to discuss. Okay, doubling up of the rooks. Okay, now I have the bishop pair. Bishop to f1, going for this along the bishop here. And this is a classical way how to actually go about winning those types of games. Here I have to actually capture, and this knight is defending. So bishop to a5 first, with bishop to c7 in mind. Will this knight come here to defend? Let's see. Okay, he resigned. But I wanted to talk about this position just for a little bit here. what is happening. So the only move that makes sense for white now probably is making this knight played from f to d7, defending this knight, which then defends this pawn. After which I would play bishop to e2, and then I would have this very nice king walk to a5 to have another attacker on the a6 pawn. Notice that the bishop on e2 wouldn't allow the king to actually come from the light squares here, and I have this pawn on g3 which doesn't allow him to come from the dark squares. And that is a nice little way how to actually go and about win this game. So if you were interested, that is my take on that. And the next player in line is Trumpist. Is this like something related to the President of the United States or something like that? I don't know. But okay, I played the Saragossa opening. Why doesn't bishop captures first? Doesn't work. In which, so do you mean bishop captures on b8 or something else? With it, okay, instead of capturing the rooks. Well, I don't know, I will have to check. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not sure. I wasn't really thinking about it. Maybe it does work, but I don't know. Now, especially now because I'm in the second game. No, I don't think it worked. It's probably maybe I would blunder something there. That is at least my opinion, but maybe it did work. Sorry, I'm not really sure. So yeah, going back to this game. So a little bit of a Caro-Kann. Lately, I've been playing this Panov attack and the exchange variation. Compared to the French, Caro-Kann is much more interesting playing the exchange variation, having played c4, and now with this pawn here, bishop to c4, I'm liking this position for white very much. So, especially now that bishop is played to f5, and this is something from the main line, but I'm not sure if it works here. I think that if you capture the pawn this early, that you have to go for e6 and leave the pawn on c8. Now I'm making two threats of capturing on b7 and on f7, and it should be enough. But okay, maybe I'm just not thinking about everything, and maybe I'm missing something. But okay, let's move on to the next topic. It's enough chess. No, joking. There is never enough chess. So yesterday I actually played in a tournament in my local club. 15 people were involved. It was a very nice tournament. After a long period of time, I actually did play in one of the tournaments before, but after a longer period of time, I came back and actually played an actual tournament at my club. And 15 people from the club were involved. I ended up being first. I had a little bit of luck in the tournament, to be honest. But that is just part of the game. I'm not feeling bad about it. It is what it is. I probably should have played a couple of games better, but in the end I did one with 6.5 out of 7. Actually, yeah, 6.5 out of 7. And yeah, it is a nice feeling, definitely. Next week there is actually a league game that the club is playing, and I'm seriously thinking about activating myself a little bit more. And this is a classical this is a classical game which is played for 1.5 hours per player, and you get 30 seconds increment per move. So this is a serious game. I think my opponent would be an international master, and it is something also that I could use for this channel. So as a game that I can show to you guys as well. So maybe if in the end I will go for this game, so if I will go for this match, I will. Okay, first let's think about this situation here. I will play queen to a6. because I think that after bishop to b3 and a5, I'm in a lot of trouble with my queen. So bishop to a6. Yeah, if I in the end go and play that game, maybe I will even show the game on the channel if I won't be too embarrassed by my game, because this would be the first time after, I think, even 5 years, 4 or 5 years, that I've played an actual classical game for rating and in a league. So just to keep that in mind. Okay, bishop to e7, of course. First, I don't want to lose the bishop here. Don't fall to some nasty tricks. And now save my bishop. I mean, not save. I'm not going to lose it or anything, but bishop to d3, because also queen to b4 is a threat. If knight captures on c3, I will simply capture with the pawn, and all is looking good for me. In the end, I did manage to keep that extra pawn, which I won on b7, and the game goes on. Once again, since I didn't mention it in a while, please do challenge me. I'm already here waiting for 2 next challenges, so thank you for the patience, guys. If you want, you can also challenge me for 3+0, so to maybe keep it a little bit faster. And yeah, just to play more games on the stream. Okay, a couple of messages. In the meantime, I could call Allmighty as a guest appearance. I could. That is definitely a good idea. I'm not sure that I will in the end. It's not, I would definitely like to have him on this channel, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe in the end I will, but for the moment I'm not really seriously thinking about it. Maybe I'll talk to him about this idea. Let's see what he thinks about it. If in the end he agrees, then maybe we will have a stream with us 2 guys, but on this channel. That would be something nice for a difference. But I would like to have it for some nice milestones. So next milestone that is coming up is actually 1,000 subscribers. A lot of people have been messaging me about it, wishing me luck and everything, so thanks for that as well. But yeah, you never know. So if it will, I will definitely let you know on my social media and on the channel. If in the end doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. Maybe it will happen someday. But yeah, that's I don't really have a prepared answer for that. Okay, and in the meantime, I did manage to probably lose a pawn here, at least the one on a2, but I have rook to a1 here. We'll see what will happen in the end. Trumpist did play a nice couple of moves here. Okay, let's play queen to e3. I would much rather like to have this pawn defended than this pawn. Okay, now the queen captures. Okay, doubling up of the rooks. Well, I think I can do that as well. So no harm done there. Yeah. What rating you have to be able to join any club? Well, it isn't rating related. You can join any club. So not more to say there. It isn't rating related. So if you want to join any club, it is possible. Rating isn't something that is necessary. You just go to the club headquarters. You say, I want to join the club. I want to play some chess. And the guy says, yeah, of course, please do it. Yeah, let's just do it, and that's it. So if you're interested in joining the club, I'm definitely glad to hear that, and just go and play some games. Play some classical games, so not just to keep yourself playing on the internet. If anybody is interested, that is a good way to go about it. Yeah, I of course saw this capture on d4. This is probably also why h6 was played, but I'm not thinking that it was possible for me to actually avoid this. In the end, and rook to c2 was a move, man. Trumpist attacking this pawn and this pawn, but now I'm actually winning this pawn, attacking the pawn on f7, and this should be enough for me to actually go and win this game. So having the rook with the pawn on this side of the board, here the king here, and now just a little bit of a push. And one thing that is important here for the rook's endgame is to keep the king here in the corner, because then if you don't, then if you keep it out in the open, then I can give a check and then push the pawn with the tempo. Yeah, Trumpist, great game, and thank you for the game. Otherwise, now I have to think about a way to actually go and push this king out of the corner, maybe somehow with the pawns, and then maybe go for a win. But from the beginning, I did have more time than Mr. Trumpist here. So yeah, it was once again the time that that managed to win me a game. Weak players are tolerable in chess clubs. Well, I don't see why not. So the thing is, it is one thing to join a club, but it's the other thing to actually get into a team and actually play as so. So I'm talking about Croatia. I'm not sure how it works in other countries, but in Croatia, if you play for a team, if you join a club, you have to be in the top 6 in the club. So either by rating or somehow you agree with the guys that these are the top 6 players, you are playing the club championship or something like that. You determine which are the 6 best players, and they are playing against other teams in the league. And if you are at the top 6, then of course you will be one of the people who actually goes and plays games for the club. That of course is one thing, but at the same time, if you only wanted to join the club to go to trainings, to go to, I don't know, to some meetups where you just play chess, where you play blitz, then of course I wouldn't see why not. You can go to any club. As far as I'm not aware of any club that isn't accepting members if they are too weak or their rating is too low or something like that. So Ivan, go for it. Find a club that you like, and that is it. Go play chess. Yeah, Mr. Monster. I'm definitely thinking about going for it. I think this is in reference to me going to play the game against an international master on Sunday, next Sunday. So let's see what happens there. But okay, in the meantime, my opponent did give me a pawn, so I will just grab it. So Leonard Zelich, or Zelich, not really sure. Capture a very nice central pawn on d5. Once again, going back to the question, why is a problem to have the queen and the king wide open? You'll probably see also in this game. Okay, knight to c3 has to be played. Next moves are rook to e1 and bishop to b5. And going for the strong attack. Let's see how black handles this. h6. Not sure that it is one of the moves that you want to make this early in the opening, especially in the exchange variation of the Caro-Kann. But okay, it is a move. Knight to f6, okay. Let's play rook to e1. Let's not capture the bishop immediately. Bishop to d6, okay. And bishop to b5. Now this bishop is attacked twice. And my opponent quickly goes castles. Okay, now I have just earned a piece. So a pawn and a piece should be enough to go and finish this game. Okay, so that was pretty much it. Yeah, wanted to talk about that. Other thing, so a very popular thing generally in the world, and a very popular thing that I like to talk about on the streams is football. And it was a pretty nice thing to talk about from the latest championship. So Croatia ended being second in the World Championship. That was the best result in history of Croatia. But as it so happens, there is this new type of competition which is called UEFA Nations League, which is actually, when you think about it, it is a very nice competition where countries are playing in group stages and countries are sorted by their strength. So the top countries are playing against top countries, weaker countries against weaker countries, and that is okay. Usually you would have friendly games where Croatia, for the most part, did play against not so known countries. I don't know what was the reason, probably the money. so they didn't find they didn't get enough money to actually go and play against bigger teams. But now playing the UEFA Nations League, Croatia did play against Spain and lost 6-0. Well, wasn't that a surprise? Well, I started watching the game and immediately I saw that after the first couple of minutes that it wouldn't go the best of ways. So I stopped watching because I cannot handle the stress of actually looking at Croatia losing like that. And in the end, it was 6-0. So it wasn't the best of days for the national team. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that now they're a bad team or anything like that. It's just a period of transition since I think 3 or 4 players have gone to a retirement now. So from the first team, so I think the goalkeeper and a couple of more players, which means that it will probably take some time for the players to adjust to the new style of play. And our manager is also thinking about it in the same manner. So losing 6-0, of course, it's not the best of things to happen in any situation, but yeah, sometimes you have to go through this in order to improve. Okay, Edwido, next challenge. This is coming along pretty nicely. So we are 1 hour and 26 minutes into the stream. The stream is showing me green light all the time. I don't think you're experiencing any problems. So I'm still waiting and still looking for opening suggestions. That is first. Second thing, if you want a challenge, please do so. I have 1 challenge in line, so probably it will be soon for you guys to actually play a game with me. Next, have I played Backhouse chess? Yes, of course. Especially when I was younger, it was a fun thing to do with your friends. But nowadays I don't play it that much. Yeah, it's just the way of life. But yeah, I don't also care for it that much as well, because Backhouse, as I've said, it was a nice thing to play when I was younger, but nowadays, yeah, it doesn't mean that much to me. Edwido. Edwido is a guy who I've played for a lot of times, as you can see, and the score is now definitely in my favor, and unfortunately for him, he did lose a piece in the center of the board and lost the game, which means that I will play against Leonard for the second time. Let's see. Leonard once again plays e4. Still no opening suggestions. Come on, guys. Okay, I will try and think of something myself. I haven't played the Alekhine defense, so let's try that. e5, mainline, 95. We'll see what happens. Yeah, and one thing about, I want to finish up with this Croatia thing. One thing that I would like to see in that team is just to keep true to the spirit that they had during the World Championship. Nobody cares about the loss in Croatia, I would say now, especially me. It was a big loss, it isn't nice to see, but nobody cares. Because what is important is to know that the big championship, which is the European one, which will happen in 2 years, it is important for them to prepare for that, and anything else, I don't think that anybody would care about. So just keeping that in mind, I guess it is okay to lose, but you have to learn something from it, just like in chess. So, what do we have here? I have just won a pawn on e5. Didn't expect that. This knight is attacking me, and I will capture it and play e6, so not to allow myself to get checkmated on f7. Next, d5, develop the bishop. This bishop will be a problem to develop it, but okay, we will see what happens. It is important not to lose either of these pawns. I'm not having this knight, which was once again transferred to b6, but still it will be fine to go and just go normally into this game, because also his bishop is out of the game for the moment because of my strong center. So for the moment it is fine. Okay, bishop to c3 probably, but bishop to f6 with exchanging and doubling up of the f-pawns is a fine idea for me. I will play king to e7 and go rook to g8, e5, bishop to h3. That is something that I would like to do. Okay, king's gambit, gotcha, and queen's gambit declined. Okay, so first I'm going to play the queen's gambit declined, haven't played it in a while, and the king's gambit, I actually haven't been playing that since I was, I don't know how old. Okay, now c3 was played. Can I play e5? Yes, I can. I want to open up this bishop as well. Rook e8, e4 to pick up as much space in the center as possible. Okay, guys, that is pretty much it from the topics. One thing that I also didn't talk about was the championship, the Champions Showdown in St. Louis. Yeah, that also happened, and that was a nice Chess 960 event. So that is something that was very interesting to see. Top players playing Blitz and Rapid in such a time control. Me personally, I haven't been playing the Chess 960 that much in life. One thing that I like to mention, and also thought about before the stream, if somebody wants to challenge me in Chess 960 game, we can also go for that if somebody is interested in that. If not, we can just play normal chess. I do have 2 challenges. Okay, Eduardo and Katilassi. Katilassi, who almost beat me as the first game, and in the end I thought I won on time, but it was a very nice tactic, that bishop to f6. I totally missed it. But okay, here in this game now with bishop on g7, I'm having a very nice defensive structure in front of the king. I have a very nice pawn center with the c5, d5, e5 pawn. And now what is left is to develop this bishop on a good square. So d7, bishop c6 seems nice. Oh, okay, h5 is a threat, but okay. I'll also now open up the position in the center. Discard attack on the queen. So for the moment the capture isn't possible. Next, what will happen is knight to d5. Enter the knight into the game. Pawn captures, queen to f6, knight to f4. That should be the main idea. Okay, now c4 doesn't allow me knight to f4 immediately, so I will play knight to f6. Now harass this pawn. Either force the capture, or even if h6 is pushed, bishop to h8. Whatever happens, I'm perfectly fine here. Now I can even go queen to d6. Yeah, simply queen to d6, go out of the pin. I mean, rook to e5 I thought for the moment was possible there. I wonder why my opponent didn't play it and go for the pawn. Okay, now f6. Distract this. f5. Don't play queen to g5. Bishop to f6. And now you're losing a bishop, man. Yeah, the problem is that this knight on h5 was defending the bishop. Yeah, that's the issue there. Okay, nice game. Let's move on. Katilassi. Have to be careful about this one. This was a pretty good one. So yeah, the Champions Showdown was played. Kasparov was playing. So that was a nice thing. He was also playing under a Croatian flag. No. Oh, King's Gambit, sorry. Queen's Gambit declined and King's Gambit. Okay, the King's Gambit. Yeah, Kasparov was playing under a Croatian flag. For those of you who don't know, Kasparov was actually he was given the Croatian citizen, honorary Croatian citizenship. He is actually also a member of a club in Croatia, a chess club in Croatia, and yeah, he's apparently. I mean, he retired. I think around 10 years ago. Mainly, he has been playing simultaneous matches, but I guess they gave him a lot of money to actually participate in this Champions Showdown in St. Louis. So he did it, and he played a very nice match with Topalov. In the end, he lost, but in my opinion, it was very nice to see him, and it was very nice to see that even after being retired for such a long time and returning to to playing active chess, Kasparov is definitely a beast still. So congrats to him on that. That was a very nice thing to see. Okay, let's get back to this game. So per request, I did play the King's Gambit. I wasn't expecting g5 and h6, to be honest. I was expecting g4 and then go for that line with queen to f3, sacrificing a piece and going for the very strong attack here. It is now black is waiting with pushing of the g4 pawn, and now I have to actually think about what is the best course of action for me, because when I'm playing an opening which was suggested to me, of course I'm not going to play the best moves, but this is more what I'm feeling are the best moves, and now I'm thinking about the pressure on the f7, which I can play with c3 and queen to b3, or even h3 to be played, but then h5 is a possibility, and I'm not really doing anything, and I'm actually helping black to go and attack me. So I'm going to play c3. Of course, knight to a5 is possible, but let's see what happens. Maybe I play even b4. Kati Lassi says it will be fun. Well, I definitely hope so. King's Gambit is nothing short of fun. Queen to b3, knight to a5, I don't have time to capture on f7. That's the problem. Because even if I actually do have time. No, I don't have time. Actually, I do. Sorry. So I was thinking about it. So if knight to a5, bishop to f7, king to f8, I have... No. Okay, no. No, I don't have time. Yeah, that is crazy. Let's play bishop to b5, pin the knight, and try to make some threats here. Still, I'm not really developed, so I would like to open up the position a little bit. Queen to c6. Okay, that is nice. And knight to d4. Pawn captures. Oh, he goes now for the pawn because of this, but is queen to b5 too big of a threat? Not really, right? Okay, have to think about a little bit of the position. Oh, Ivan, I played against you. Nice. Yeah, it was a good game. But let's see what I can do against Kari Lassi here. I'm going to capture with the knight, because now the threats of going on c7 are a little bit there. There is no pawn to actually push me away from it. Still, this pawn which was captured on f4 is making me wish I didn't play this opening. So, but bishop to e6 here is a threat. Let's disregard it for the moment. I mean, I can always play rook to e1 and c4, so I'm not really afraid what will happen. Rook to e1, The bishop is pinned. Maybe knight to e7. I wonder if my opponent will go queenside castle here. That would be a nice thing to see. Next game I have to remember. Next game with the white pieces, I have to play the queen's gambit. So, okay, now the knight is on f3 and is prepared to jump on d4. Okay, and that will be nice because then I will be also attacking this bishop. Still, the bishop is pinned. I'm in no hurry to actually go and capture it. I was also thinking about sacrificing the rook for the bishop, capturing with the queen, but I didn't really see anything after that, so yeah. King to d7. Okay, a nice move. I will proceed with the plan, c4. And let's see what my opponent does here. If d5, rook to d1. Still, ideas of pinning are very nice. What? What just happened? That was a terrible blunder on my part. I didn't even see bishop to c4. Whoa. Okay. Now I have to play knight to d4. No, I'm completely lost. I am completely lost in this game. Yeah, completely lost it. Yeah. Cannot even capture. I'll lose the rook. Man, that was bad. Good game, Kadelassi. You proved to be a very worthy adversary. Let's play the next challenge. Good game, good game. I hope for another challenge, Kadelassi. I wanna try play a couple of more games. Okay. Were there requests here? I don't think so. But let's try Benoni. I haven't played it for a while. But first I would like to turn on the lights. If you're a YouTube creator, creating videos, it is very important not to lose your eyesight staring at the computer for longer periods of time, so using the light to help me there. And Eduardo decided to transpose into the Sicilian, so I will capture on d4. Queen d4, knight to c6, development with tempo, always good. g6, bishop to g7, kind of a dragon type of variation, so in the end I will keep a promise of actually going for that opening. So, the stream is still live and we are still playing. If you're for it, definitely challenge me. Play a couple of games, enjoy some chess. If not, don't. It isn't. Okay, I can capture this. It isn't something that you have to do. It's just something that you can do. Did I just lost the pawn? No, I didn't. Bishop to b7 and the one on g2 is falling. Is there any topic that you guys are interested? Is there any type of video that you are guys interested on me maybe actually covering it? Also, I wanted to hear your some of your guys' reaction on my new type. I mean, it's not a new type of video, but actually me playing against an engine on Lichess. So I'm playing against Stockfish, trying to analyze the game and talking about actually what am I thinking about while playing. So what do you think about that? Is it to your satisfaction? Is it maybe something wrong? Would you like to see something different? If you enjoy it, share. If you don't enjoy it, definitely share, and please say how would you improve this series. Okay, now I'm going very actively with my rook, which isn't always the best thing, especially if you cannot castle. But I will capture on h2, even if it means losing the game, because I want to have the equal material, 4 pawns for 4 pawns and a lot of pieces. But white isn't in a better position here, that is for sure, especially after this move. Man, oh man. Okay, knight to d5. Okay. Knight to d5. Do I have to go about it that way? That is the question. The problem is he will give me a check on c7 and after king to f8. But I can play bishop to h6. Yeah, why am I thinking about that at all? Knight c7, king f8, king g7. All is good. It is a good thing that I have a rook on h-file, which came from a8, a5, h5, h2. A very nice rook walk. And in the end, it allowed me to play bishop to h6 and get me this very nice square for my king. After all, I will castle after all. And at the same time, this knight is not in the game. But okay, the rook looks clumsy for the moment, but it will come back to h2 and all will be good. Let's see what my opponent does. What's on his mind? Edwido, what are you thinking about? Oh, you would like to see me play with Leela? Well, why, yeah, of course. I'm definitely for it. So after Stockfish, I'll play against Leela Chess 0. I'll probably get crushed, but yeah, it will be a nice experience. I think there is actually a Leela bot on Lichess, which I can play against. So I will first. I'm going to try it out just to see if it will if it will look good, and then yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I would definitely like to play against her. What phone do I use? I am an iOS guy. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually, per profession, I am an iOS developer, which means that I make iOS applications, which means that I use an iPhone, and and I have to say that every other phone is bad. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I'm using an iPhone. So, and I have been using it for a while now. Previously, so when I was at college, when I didn't work as an iOS developer, I have been using Samsung. So for the most part, and yeah, it has been a good phone. Actually, it has been the best phone I have ever used. So I'm playing a little bit faster now because the time is of the essence. So I will have to bring it up the speed. Okay, this is very nice. Yeah, so I'm using an iPhone now. Well played. Yeah, thanks. And it's just a great phone. Cannot say anything less. It's just a great phone. It's it has a great camera. The processor is fast. The image is crystal clear. So no, I just play this e4 move. It is just an automatic. My friend told me that I always play e4, and it kind of annoys him. But yeah, it's an automatic, and I just don't play this. Yeah, in the end, once again, I didn't play the Queen's Gambit Decline. But okay, I promise, until the end of the stream, I have to play one Queen's Gambit Decline game. We'll see what it is. Okay, this is one line of the Karo Khan, which I used against an international master way back when I was younger. And it was a pretty nice game. I prepared it especially for him. The idea is to having this fianchetto bishop go castles and expect from white to do the same. So in the Karo Khan, you don't see that often if you don't play the main line that black goes queenside castle. So mostly in these types of variations, he will also go kingside castle, and then you attack him with h3, g4, and moves like these. Remaneuvering of the knight, of course, keeping an eye on the e4 pawn, and things like this. If you like it, you could also play this. Do you know what Katilasi means? No, I don't know. what Katilasi means. Does it have a special meaning? Does it mean that it can beat Allmighty at chess or something like that? Let's push this bishop away or force it to capture. Let's see what my opponent does. No, I don't know what Katilasi means. Please share this with me. Play a3 with the for the first move, or play the Polish opening. So Polish opening is b4 first move. Okay, also nice ideas, but all of them are for white. Please give me some suggestions. What should I play with the black as well? Sour buttermilk. Okay, that's something. Yeah, people use the strangest of usernames also on chess games, also on chess websites. Is this a free pawn? Will he sacrifice the rook? But I'm not seeing any tactics. Queen g4. This is under attack. Yeah, maybe something happens, but for now it should be good for me. So I will recapture the queen immediately. If he doesn't capture the queen, then yeah, I'll lose the pawn on d5. Or maybe not, we will see. But yeah, for the moment here, I'm looking good against Leonard once again. Pawn captures on d5. And yeah, Mikolas Porzingis. Well, this is a good question. I like basketball, and I hope I won't sound. So I think you are the guy at the beginning of the stream who said greetings from. No, I had some greetings from Riga. I hope I won't sound too ignorant now. And I will assume that maybe you're from Lithuania, judging by the surname, or maybe even from Greece, because Croatia played a qualification match against Lithuania a day before yesterday and lost by 1 point, which in the end meant that they wouldn't qualify for the World Championship or the European Championship. I'm not sure. So I don't know if you asked me about basketball because of that or generally, but I really like basketball. I like playing it. I like watching it. The thing about basketball for me is that I enjoyed it so much that I actually played basketball a week ago, and in one of the encounters with one of the players on the basketball field, I jumped to grab the ball, I fell on his foot, and in the end I twisted my ankle, which in the end left me not being able to play any sports for a week. So unfortunately, yeah, sometimes injuries happen, and yeah, I injured my foot. Still, my feet look a little bit bad. The thing is that when you injure your ankle, your foot doubles in size. It is still looking like that, so I'm still at bed rest. I'm not even playing football anymore, so yeah, I'm just waiting for it to pass, but as soon as it passes, I will definitely go and play some more basketball. There is nothing in the world that would discourage me from playing chess and from playing basketball. Once again, thanks for the hat comments. I really like them. I actually ordered another hat, so in one of the future videos I will wear that hat instead of this one, just to mix it up a little bit. And I would like to get your guys' opinion on it. Will you like the other hat as well? Here Leonard is in a bit of a difficult position, being an exchange down and being 2 pawns down. So, and also the time is of the essence always in a chess game. A5, B4. Yeah, the pawns are marching, and there will be a queen soon. Are we playing plus increment? Oh, we are. Okay, I was thinking, okay, why Why isn't the flag falling down? Okay, let's think about this. Let's move this rook into the game as well. Okay, now I'm able to play b5 as well. Pawn captures, pawn captures. Now pushing off the pawns. King to d2, not allow any checks. Not allow your opponent to get some counterplay. That is very important. Now a6, a7, a8. Leonard, will you stop this? No. Okay, in the end lost in time, but it was a pretty difficult game. Okay, Katilasi, I see you challenged for a game with 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I won't accept that challenge. That is too long. Too long. So maximum of 5 minutes per player. Most of the players do challenge me for 3 minutes blitz game. I would say that is perfect, but don't challenge me for more than 5 minutes because it would take too long, and I would like to see more of you guys just play against me. Okay, have I heard of the Traxler attack? I have heard about it, but I have never played it. So please do share what it is, and I will probably play it on the stream. What is my profession? I actually talked about it a couple of moments ago, so I guess you have just joined the stream, so welcome. I'm actually an iOS developer, so I develop iOS applications, and that is what I do when I'm not playing chess. Okay, this seems pretty dangerous to play c5 immediately, so let's go and attack this knight one more time. h6 will be a move that will be put in just to have it there. Okay, GVS 3-1 is giving me a hard time for the moment, but okay. Let's play queen to e7 and then c5. It is important for me to actually defend this bishop first before going for a serious attack. I mean, not an attack, but go forward with the pawns. And one thing I have to think about is how to develop this bishop. The standard problem of these types of games. Okay, bishop captures. Now the question is, will pawn capture or will this bishop capture? Let's see what white does. But I think it was, yeah, the time was right to actually go and play this. Now b6 and bishop to b7 are a given, and I don't think there's nothing better to do here. Okay, bishop to h2 was played with an idea of playing f4 and f5. That is, of course, very good. So should I actually go for this? Let's play c4 and knight to c5. Maybe a better option. If b4, I can just simply capture the pawn. Also, what I have to think about is where to develop this knight, so I'm thinking g6 and knight to g7. So temporarily minimizing and not really destroying the defenses, but minimizing the defenses in front of my king, but it all comes with a price. Of course, I wouldn't like to allow these ideas of f5 to come so easily. Okay, a nice maneuver, knight to f3, knight to d4, and now my opponent is preparing f5, which is very good. I will, on the other hand, try to do something on the queen side. Okay, b3, I said I will capture that, and I will. Bishop to d7 next. It is time to develop the pieces, and one thing that has happened, now with bishop to b3 first, I have this nice e4 square for the knight, and one other thing is that I have an open c file for the rook. Semi-open. Okay, I will attack this weak pawn on c3. I'm guessing bishop to c2, but then b5. And things are coming along nicely now, after the last couple of moves. Traxler attack is a counter gambit for the fried liver attack. Okay. I know I ask this question every time, but what is the fried liver attack? Is that the one with Sicilian with knight to g5? I think that's the one. If that is the one, please tell me, and I need some moves, guys, because otherwise, yeah, I will play something wrong. Am I good at math? Well, that's a subjective question. I think I am. Um, Generally, in school, it was a pretty easy thing for me. So yeah, most of the developers and software engineers I know are good at math. So it is not necessarily a given that if you excel at math that you will be a good software developer, or if you're a good software developer, software engineer, that you will be good at math. But it is a general rule of thumb that if you are good at math, that you won't have any problems with software engineering, because software engineering isn't just going for computer science. It could also mean other sorts of professions which are out there, just developing applications, and math isn't something that is necessary for that. It is a little bit, but it isn't essential. That's what I meant. Okay, this bishop is really not really good. So I can actually go for it now. My rook isn't trapped. It just has limited squares to go to. But if I allow this bishop to go to h4, then it will be a very nice piece coming on f6. So this is why I actually gave my knight for this bishop. And now it's time to activate the king, of course. Okay, e4 is just giving me the pawn. I mean, king can come on e3, but now rook to g1. Have to think about those moves as well. And okay, my opponent lost in time. Good game, man. Let's move on. Ginger the Cookie, Katilasi, please. Those are two. As you can see, when I'm challenging you, I see that it's a rapid time format. So I don't want to play rapid games on this stream because, as I said, it would take too long. So no rapid, just blitz games. So 5+0 or less. Okay, I think I played 5+3 game, but it didn't take so long. So, but 5+8 is still too long. Sorry. Ginger the Cookie. Okay, I've never played against Ginger the Cookie. This is our first encounter. So let's see what happens. It's a casual blitz of 5+0. It is Lasker on the board. Will we go for the main line? Huz83, also a new challenger. I don't remember playing against Huz. That is very nice. So we are already 2 hours in the stream. It is looking pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, and hopefully I will play many more games today. Okay, 95. Going for this bishop is fine in the Lasker because generally you have other things that you can do here. Queen to d2, queenside castle. Well, it isn't a thing that you should play, that you play usually in Lasker, because of this bishop to g5 move, which is a typical threat. And now when losing this knight on f3, knight to d4 is a perfect move to play. But let's see what my opponent does. Now I have limited his king to not going for the queenside castle for the moment. Next thing what I will do, I will start the attack. And this knight on d5 is limiting himself of actually attacking on d6. So all in all, things are looking good. But once again, let's see what he does. Where will this queen go? That is the main question. Ginger the Cookie. Okay. Okay, a couple of questions here. Do I work in Zagreb? Well, I do and I don't, because I have software developers in general this is a type of work which you can work, where you can work remotely, which means that you don't necessarily have to be pinned down by one position, or if your company if it has an office and it allows you for people that are employed to work from home, it is a possibility. So sometimes I work from Zagreb, sometimes I work somewhere else. And but generally, yeah, Križevci, which is my hometown, this is somewhere where I work the most. Okay, of course I don't. Wait. The rook did attack the bishop, but I have this very nice knight to e5 move. Let's try that. Beware of the f3 square. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. If you're young and you're still thinking about a career, I would definitely recommend software engineering. It's fun. It pays a lot, so that is always a good thing. Of course, you have to like it. So software engineering, programming, coding isn't for everybody. You have to like it to actually do it. It's a job that takes some time to actually go about learning how to do it and everything. So yeah, that is my take on software engineering. Yeah, I was just confused by this f3 move, because quite simply it allows me this queen to h4 check. Still no queenside castle for my opponent, but also now I do have this queen to h3, but I have to think about, do I want to play it? Now all of a sudden this bishop is just eyeing this pawn, and I'm not liking it that much. What about f5? f5 seems like a decent move. Keep in mind that the queen is eyeing this diagonal, so there are no checks. Let's try opening up the position a little bit with f5, because I'm not seeing that, I mean, that anything that good with queen to h3. I mean, in the end, I'm opening up the h file, and the g file is already open. I've castled on this side. So after something like c3 and king to c2, it could mean a lot for white. So I'm not capturing this pawn for now. I would like to open up the position since the king is in the center. Okay, what is my opinion on cheaters and blitz in daily games? Well, I've been asked this question actually a while ago. And of course my opinion on cheaters is, or generally, if you play chess, it doesn't make sense to play chess if you're going to cheat. And then in my opinion, cheaters are mostly children. No, not like if you're an adult and I call you a child. No. It is just the feeling of wanting to win the game, and you want to win it so badly that in the end you go and cheat. And you don't want to cheat in a chess game. I mean, in the end, you don't get too much from it. Okay. I cannot even play this. Rook to f6. Just want to think about for a moment. Yeah, rook to f6 here to capture here. Yeah, yeah, cheaters are bad. The thing is, in my opinion and from my experience, most of the cheaters that I've encountered in my life have been children. I also had it is always amazing what you can see a child can do. From the best of things to the worst of things. So I had this one occasion where I was playing in a school type of tournament, and I'm telling you it's a school type of tournament because it wasn't a normal tournament where there were only chess players. You had children that wanted to get out of school, and it is a typical thing in Croatia. If you're playing for your high school, any sports, or you're going on some, I don't know, maths, or I don't know, you're going from maths, from chemistry on some competitions for the school, you get a day off. And that is a very nice thing for a young child who doesn't even want to be in school. And then what you get when you play those types of chess tournaments with children, a lot of guys, a lot of people who don't really play chess, but still they want to win the game. And to win the game, they do all sorts of things. Before, in the past, when I was younger, so I don't know, 15 years before, okay, I'm not that old, 10 to 15 years, you had those old mechanical clocks. And there was this one occasion where this guy actually, okay, this is becoming very not good for me, where this guy actually was playing, and at the same time, so this so for those of you who don't know, now in this era you only have digital chess clocks, and you just sort them out. You push the clock when it's your move, and then the other player is playing. But with mechanical clocks, you actually fix them behind the clocks. So you had a pin which you could screw around with, and in the end, this is how you set out, like a normal clock, like a normal mechanical clock. You set out the time, and you also press the button when you finish your move. And this guy, while playing, was casually laying down on the chair, and with his hand he was reaching behind the clock. And at the same time, he was slowly but surely messing up with his opponent's time, so making it smaller and smaller. And of course, this other guy actually knew him. He was a good player, and he was crushing this guy. But the only way how to win this game, this little boy at that time was thinking that he should, okay, I'm just going to win against Ginger and move on to the next game. Against Kadilasi, he thought that the only way he could win is actually to win on time, and he resorted to that worst type of behavior, cheating, just by moving the clock with his finger and playing the game at the same time. And that was just like a crazy moment, which stuck for me even for this long. So 10 years and even more has passed, and still I'm remembering it, and I was like, that is definitely crazy. So yeah, but of course I know that you are thinking about cheaters which are using engines to play the games and everything. In my opinion, you won't gain anything from it. So if you're a guy, so Katilasi isn't here, let's move on to the next challenge against Yokos. Yeah, leave the site. You won't gain anything from it, and that's just the main thing you should get out of this. If your point of playing chess is just cheating, you shouldn't play chess at all, of course. But Queen's Gambit declined. But the thing is, yeah, the thing is that cheaters are everywhere, and in any way, people try, but whatever you do, there will always be cheaters. You play tournaments on Lichess, and you put out a prize fund, and the engines from Lichess have to find out who is actually a cheater and then ban him from the tournament. So it's a difficult thing to think about, but what I will say, it will always happen, and people always have to fight against it. If you're playing a game and then you lose to a cheater, you shouldn't feel bad. Of course, you will lose some rating, but in the end, you can always win back the rating, and what is important is your strength. So if you want to get a feeling of encouragement from me, that is kind of it. But yeah, there is nothing good I could say about on this topic. There is nothing good I could say. And I also saw this other game. This other question is, who is better in discovering cheaters, chess.com or lichess.com? Well, I'm not really sure about chess.com because, yeah, I don't play that much on chess.com, nor did I play in tournaments which then discover cheaters and everything. But what I have seen from Lichess, they are doing a really good job. So I have been on a couple of streams, as you have seen on Agat Mater's channel, where I did play, where we talked about games and saw it, and those were tournaments that lasted for 2 hours, I think, and until the end of the tournament, yeah, Lichess managed to find all the cheaters in the tournament, and that is great, because that improves in the end improves the experience for the users on the site and everything. But in the end, there is always this question: I played against a cheater, he beat me, I have lost fire or whatever. Because of me losing, now I didn't play against the stronger player, I played against a weaker player. Yeah, the whole thing mixes up, everybody's feeling bad, and nobody wins in the end. So I'm. This is one of the reasons why I'm a Patreon on Lichess, to help them to just to support them with some financial things, at least for a little bit, so that they can have better servers, better processing time, that in the end and they can figure out the cheaters faster. So this is my small contribution. You can also do it as well if you want. I'm always kind of promoting Lichess. I'm making my videos, recording my videos on Lichess, playing my streams on Lichess, and playing most of my games on Lichess. So if you're my subscriber, and if you are not playing on Lichess, I don't want to say, yeah, ditch chess.com and come on Lichess, but one thing's for sure, everything on Lichess is free. You don't have to pay for anything. If you want, you can pay, but you don't have to. And that's the main point. And this is why I would rather play on Lichess and do everything on Lichess than on chess.com on any other site. Because from my experience on chess.com, if you play tournaments or some simple things which are pretty common on Lichess, you have to pay some money. So yeah, it's just a matter of preference, and Lichess is a very nice site, so the UI is great. It's of great build and everything, so definitely recommend it. Okay, now I see what is the Traxler attack. E4, E5, knight F3, knight to C6, B, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, now I see. Yeah, maybe I will play the Traxler attack. Maybe it will happen. The stream is 2 hours and 20 minutes, but maybe there will be time. Could I develop my own app? Well, I could. Since I'm developing apps for my company, I could definitely develop one for myself. Okay, let's get back to the game with Yokos. Yokos, we played... What was it? Oh, I played the Queen's Gambit declined. In the end, I won a rook here. Then it fell down the exchange because I couldn't recover my bishop. And now I have to find out a good way how to approach this, finishing this middle game and going into the end game. When you're stronger, exchange pieces. That's always a good way how to go to the end game. Some GMs are getting paid not to play on Lichess. Really? Is that a fact? What? Who is paying them not to play on Lichess? Alexander. That's... I definitely didn't know about this. Oh. I can let myself to lose at least one pawn. Whoa, did I play a move? Oh, my mouse malfunctioned for a moment there. I planned to give a check here. Yes. Now that's a different story. Let's give a check now. And let's play with the rook here. Defend the pawn here. Okay, that was a given. Okay, the amount of pawn is equal. It is not all that easy to go and win this game. Still, the knight can be tricky to play against, but of course we will try. Black's idea of going forward is, of course, pushing the pawns on the queen side, but of course doing it with caution, because, yeah, with the two rooks I can easily attack these pawns. So here I think I will win one pawn, and the next thing that I will do is go for the g7 pawn. Okay, rook to a3, rook here. Now both of the rooks are attacking here. Rook to a2 attacks the f2 pawn. Can I play f3? Yeah, I think I can. Okay, attacking on f2, very nice. But now you have to exchange. That's the problem. And now we are in the end game where I have a rook against a knight. And that is sometimes tricky. But this is what I will do. I'll restrict the movement of the knight, so this knight... This is something, if you have watched my videos on the endgame, this is a principled thing that you should do in your endgame. If you're playing in endgame a rook against a knight, limit the knight and his squares, and the squares where he can go to, and try to just simply capture it. Okay, now the knight is in the corner, the king will come on f3, the next move is rook to d1, and this knight will be captured quite easily. So, this is something to look forward to. g4, capturing the knight, going for these pawns and going for the win. Yeah, Lichess founder said it. Competition is playing. Really? Do you mean, okay? Do you maybe have... I don't know if it's allowed to post links to the chat on... to the chat on the stream, but if it's not a problem, can you please send me a message somewhere where I can read about this? This is a very interesting thing. The Lichess founder said that the competition is paying some grandmasters to not play on Lichess but play on their sites. I mean, of course, I know that chess.com is paying most of the grandmasters to play there. But for example, I know that you don't pay Magnus Carlsen to play somewhere, and he always plays on Lichess. And he most of the times wins the tournament, but in the end he gives the prize money away. I have a game in progress with Kati Lassi, join the game. But I think Kati Lassi... oh, 5+0 casual. Okay, great. Fried liver. Let's go for fried liver. I don't know which attack was it. Yeah, guys. If you want to challenge me for a game, it will be... I think I can make it a half an hour more. I'm having a lot of fun. Let's try and play some chess. And of course, if there is something that you want to talk about, please do mention it in the chat. Because otherwise I will just talk about some boring things that I want to talk about. And yeah, that's how it is. Kati Lassi is gray here, which means that he left the game. I'm just going to wait a couple of moments more. It would be so unfortunate to not to go for this. And okay, now we are in a dangerous area because I'm not playing e5 at all. So I'm not aware of any openings that good. Not aware. I'm not into any of the openings that good. So for bishop to b5, I will probably play d6 because most of the games that I have analyzed are the Steinitz variation which Capablanca played, and I kind of know now the ideas for black there. But the 4 knights game with bishop to e2, this is something that, yeah, I don't know. Bishop to b4 is probably met with knight to d5. I mean, I would like to play bishop to c5. Okay, I'm thinking bishop to c5, knight to e5, knight to e5, d4. Yeah, I'll play just simply bishop to e7, not to complicate things, go castles, d6, and then try to do something on either side of the board. For now, keeping it symmetrical, which means that white is better, just for a margin, having that first move. But okay, it doesn't mean anything. Kati Lassi always proved to be a worthy opponent, and it will be an interesting game for sure. Okay. In that video, he explicitly said that people are paid not to play on Lichess. Can you send me a link to that video? I'm really interested in this. This is like totally new to me. I didn't know that it went that far. I mean, of course, the competition is very big between chess websites. So when I was younger, you didn't really had chess websites. Then chess.com was probably one of the first ones, and actually to earn money, they probably went into this whole business thing where they decided, yeah, that you should pay to become premium so that they can earn money to actually keep the website going, to pay developers and everything. Because I'm a developer, I know developers are pretty expensive. And then you had Chess24, and Lichess is a pretty new website. It's an open source website. It is free, and as far as I know, the founders of the Lichess website isn't like their primary thing that they have. I think they have some other things that they are working on. That this is kind of it kind of was a side project, but since Lichess grew to be this big, probably they are focusing on it even more. But yeah, Lichess started to be a big competitor, and I'm always tracking on Twitter to see which chess website is followed the most, which chess website has the most players and everything. Where do you get most of the games? So, and Lichess is slowly but surely climbing the ladder. So now, yeah, they are probably even second behind chess.com. I would say that they have surpassed Chess24, but once again, Chess24 is one of those websites which pays the grandmasters for actually play there, and not just that, but they also have those paid series on openings and everything. And okay, let's get back a little bit to this game. Okay, it does seem for a moment that e4 is possible to capture, but bishop to f3 runs into attacking the rook, and after that capturing here on c6. And this is something that I don't want to allow. So first let's... okay, I cannot play rook to b8 because of bishop on a7. Okay. Let's try c5. So limiting this bishop and also opening up for this bishop to come on b7 and have another attacker on the e4 pawn. This seems like a very nice idea. Of course, now I'm also allowing bishop to b5, yes. But okay, then bishop to d7 simply. Queen to d7, and I think it is fine. It is a good situation here. If the bishop doesn't capture, I can always play a6. Rook to b8 now, queen to c6 is an idea. Pressure on e4. And one thing that I don't want to allow is e5 being pushed. Because if e5 gets pushed, then white can create weaknesses on d6, and this would mean a better game for him. So Katilas is still nothing for you, but I'm thinking that he is either listening to me talking about my ideas. It's a very good player, because playing f3 at the right moment and waiting for it, that was a very nice thing to do. Is it the right moment to push d5? The problem is that I'll be left with this double c pawns. F4 square seems nice. Let me think about the position a little bit. The thing is, if I push d5, pawn captures, I have to capture the rook, and after all of these exchanges, I'm not getting that much. At least I mean, also e5 can be pushed with e4 in mind. Yeah, it's a strange one, to say the least. And also the time is of the essence in a chess game. Let's play g6. Let's one thing that you hear, what people talk most about in a chess game, you should improve the position of your pieces. For the moment, this bishop is a defensive piece, I would like to turn it into an attacking piece. So having a bishop on g7, yeah, it's a nice thing to have. So that is the next idea I would like to play. Okay, queen to d3. Is he trying to play queen to b5? Maybe. Let's see. I don't want to exchange because two pawns will be attacked at the same time. So I would probably play the queen away. Okay, the rook will go here. I'll play a6, not allow queen b5. b3, nice. Okay. Okay. Let's play c4. c4 seems like a nice move. I'm sacrificing a double pawn, so that doesn't mean much. The idea was to open up the b file to get some counterplay. Maybe he will do the same by pushing c5. Let's see. Okay, the rook comes here. Open up this diagonal for the bishop. Also ideas of knight to c5. Okay. Do I have to give up the queen? I certainly hope not. Okay, was this was a bad idea. Okay, now I have to defend this way. And what about rook to b7? Come on. Just in a couple of moves. Okay, I'll try to survive this one. I mean, if the rook captures, at least I get some counterplay. And I also have to think about the time. The time is of the essence. Kadilas is a very good player, I gotta say. I have to capture this, I have to play like this. Still I can go to d8. If knight captures on c7, let's see what he does. Rook c7, okay. Rook c8, knight a6, and rook to c6. But you lost on time. Yeah, unfortunately, once again. I would like to analyze this game later on to see if I was in wrong or not. I wanted to play the Traxler attack. But yeah, unfortunately, my opponent went for the 4 knights game and it didn't happen. But let's try it once again. e4, e5. Okay. Can you imagine Fischer playing one-line blitz tournament with a bunch of anonymous people? Oh my god. Oh, the King's Gambit. Well, let's always play the accepted King's Gambit. Can you imagine Fischer playing online blitz tournaments with a bunch of anonymous people like Magnus today? Well, Fischer wasn't... I would say that Fischer and Magnus are two different people. Two different types of people. So I definitely don't see Fischer playing something like that. Yeah, in my opinion, but you never know. Fischer always wanted money to play games, to play tournaments, to play matches, and Magnus isn't getting paid anything to play on Lichess, a titled arena, for example. So yeah, I'm not seeing Fischer as a type of person to go for something like that. Yeah, not even considering. Guys, my dinner is getting cold. This is one of the funniest messages I got on this stream. Come on. Essentially, it means that I have to finish up the stream a little bit earlier than expected. But okay, of course I'm going to answer a couple last questions while playing this King's Gambit, and since there are no more challenges, so the last opportunity to challenge is right now. After this game I will probably play one more, and that is it finish up this nice stream, which is now being played for 2.5 hours. What music do I like and do I know Tupac? Well, I don't know him personally. No, I'm just joking. I've heard of Tupac, of course. Everybody has heard of him. After all, he is one of the most famous rappers in the world. And the unfortunate tragedy, which was his death. But actually, I'm not that into rap, so I don't know much about it. I'm more into, I don't know. I listen to different sorts of music. I don't like to be labeled. So, in the past, I have listened mostly to rock and hard rock and stuff like that. And okay, the best way to describe what I'm listening to is actually to tell you what I'm listening while working. So when I'm working, I mostly listen to the 80s. So the music from the 80s. And this could be anything. So disco, I don't know. Whatever was good at that time. So I definitely listen to that, and that is pretty much it. Don't have any preference, that is just something I'm listening to. Okay, I've just given up a pawn, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to go queenside castle, and now I can just continue with this build-up of the attack that I have on this side. First, let's play knight to g6, enter the knight on h4. Or even if knight to f3 is played, I will exchange one pair of knight and then go for the other. But my opponent is also eager to attack me as well. Okay, h5 and g4 are the moves to be played also. One thing to see is that now this bishop is on this diagonal, and since b4 was played, this could be a liability. So Leonard, please be careful. Yeah. For the next stream, I will try to buy a new hat. So, if there is a suggestion, if you know of a nice hat which I can wear while playing in a stream, or while playing and recording myself playing against a machine, please do share in the comments down below. Not in the comments, in the chat, or in the comments later when the video will be posted. So because I would like to mix it up a bit, not to have the same hat as always. Even though this is a nice hat, but I would like to have another one to change it up a bit. Okay, enough talking. Yeah, let's play g4. I don't know. I mean, I've been calculating it for some time. I will give up one pawn for the open h file. And as I've said, giving up. And actually, I'm not giving it up, because knight will capture on g4 and bishop will capture on c3. So all is good. I can wear a bandana like Tupac. I guess the boy of Ya, you're a Tupac fan. Well, I'm not sure if a bandana is really my style, but maybe I will go for it. I will see how it looks, and maybe I will go for it. Now, should I capture the rook on f2, or should I go rook h1, bishop f2, and then attack on the h file? Now there's a question for you. Let's start with knight to e5. This rook is pinned, so there is no hurry to actually go and capture it. If the queen moves somewhere, queen to h5 is coming, so this could be a very nice to end this game. And since there are no more challenges, yeah, that will be pretty much it. Okay, he decided to defend the rook, which is of course nice. But now I will play queen to e7, queen to h4, and go for the checkmate on h1. Once again, I'm in no hurry to capture this rook. Come on. Once again. Okay, I have queen to h7 as well. I can even give up the bishop. The whole point of the pinning of the rook was, then you cannot play king to f1 because rook to h1 is then checkmate. So a nice setup, but now first I have to capture on f3 because on queen h1 there is knight to g1, which is covering the check, and now after capture queen to h1 will be checkmate, whatever you play. So actually queen to f3 was good. So yeah, okay, Ivan, you are Leonard Zelik, now I know. Okay, okay, okay. Guys, no more challenges, no more questions. I think this is a perfect time to end the stream. It was a pretty nice one, the longest one that I had. My idea is to keep having the streams on a weekly basis, probably during the weekend, because it is the best time for me, and yeah, it's just the easiest way. Yeah, the easiest way. So, couple of things for the next stream. Yeah, probably a new hat if it comes in time, because when I'm ordering stuff over eBay, first they're just bad, and second it takes a long time to actually for him to come. New topics. I'll probably think about something else to talk about. If there is a request, what do you want me to talk about from the world of chess, please do say it in the comments in the future videos. That being said, I would like to thank you for participating in the stream, and I will see you next time.